Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Beer, I guess I should say congratulations. Behold your handiwork. This is what you wanted. This is what you've advocated for years. This is what the President wanted. This is what Secretary Mayorkas wanted, what minority members here have relentlessly pursued. You've advocated an open and uncontrolled border, mass immigration. You're in charge.
No, I certainly haven't. I don't know where you're getting that. Where are you getting that?
I'll ask you a question when I'm ready.
Quote something.
I will. Mr. Mayorkas has been willing to flout U.S. immigration law to achieve the mass immigration that they and you favor. And no, the migrants don't become citizens in law, but they certainly come to the United States and they're released into the United States. And you consider that to be a good thing because you think it'll reduce poverty and improve the economy. Let me tell you how that works. There was an article in the New York Times on Saturday. I'm sure you read it. Alone and exploited. Migrant children work brutal jobs across the U.S. Carolina Yoke, who came to the United States on her own last year to live with a relative she had never met. The number of unaccompanied minors entering the United States climbed to a high of 130,000 last year, 3 times what it was 5 years earlier, and this summer is expected to bring another wave. Guess what? The federal government is supposed to be in touch with them and place them with sponsors through the Department of Health and Human Services. But although the Health and HHS calls the minors it sends out a month after they go to live with these sponsors, many of whom they don't know, some of whom are sponsoring 20 children or more, the agency could not reach more than 85,000 children. Overall, the agency lost immediate contact with 1/3 of migrant children. By all means, let's bring more in so more end up in the situation of Carolina Yoke, probably.
So what is the
Or you
question?
could go to the article from last July. Smuggling migrants at the border is now a billion-dollar business. You say, well, it's because they're illegal. If they weren't illegal, then the Mexican cartels wouldn't be able to charge them the fees that generate $15 billion in revenues. I'd like to ask you how you understand that if they have the pervasive control of the Mexican side that the Border Patrol tells me they have, how come they couldn't continue to charge the fees that they're torturing people over and placing children in indentured servitude in the United States? Why couldn't they continue to do that in a failed narco state of Mexico?
Well, we actually have experience with legal immigration of Mexicans and Central Americans.
You're not going to answer my question about why they can't continue to charge the fees?
We have H-2A guest worker programs that allow people to come, and they're not controlled by the cartels. We should expand those guest worker programs to allow people to come legally.
My question to you, sir, sir, if I'm not going to let you filibuster my time, I'm going to let you answer my question on my time.
You asked me a question, you attacked me.
I'm going to let you answer my question if you answer my question. But that question is, what would prevent cartels from charging legal immigrants if they were coming across en masse?
Well, because we already have experience with this, sir. We have legal immigration. It's just extremely unusual and constrained. We have no year-round guest worker program.
Right. I'm not talking about guest worker programs. I've asked the question twice. You don't want to answer it. That's fine.
That's legal immigration, sir.
Let me say this. In January of this year, in January 5, in Culiacan, there was open warfare between the Mexican military and the Sinaloa cartel as the Mexican military sought to arrest Ovidio Guzman. They burned cars. They had Sinaloa soldiers running around on narco tanks, firing 50 caliber weapons at military aircraft in the air. That's a cartel that you are strengthening with your ideology, sir. And the members of this committee, the minority who have advocated for this relentlessly, and the President of the United States and Secretary Mayorkas. And if you think it can occur in the United States, just keep going. You can come back then when you're advocates. You know, the other thing you said that's remarkable to me is what you think we need to do is have more legalization of fentanyl across the United States. That sounds like a great plan. I'd suggest you go read San Francisco by Michael Schellenberger about what's happened in that city. It is outrageous. It is as misguided as any policy I've ever seen in the history of mankind. And in the name of humanity,
I said we should let doctors.
In the name of humaneness, I don't want to hear any more of your economic arguments. I'm concerned about Carolina Yoke and those other people who've been distributed across the country to people they don't know, to homes that don't care for them, to go work in factories as children. That's not the way it's supposed to be, but it is the result of what you have advocated. My time's expired.
It's not the result of what I've advocated at all.